Hi, and welcome to College Planning Untangled, where we help simplify the lives of our families that are thinking about college. I'm Kristin Clark. I'm a career exploration coach for 16 to 26-year-olds, and I'm here with Bobby Hood, our SAT and ACT. I always call you the guru. If you want another title, you just need to tell me.
Oh, that's good.
That works?
Absolutely.
All right. And Bobby, today we're here to talk about this senior year. You know, I see this happening all the time where parents will come to me and they're like, Kristin, I'm so confused about planning for college. I really don't know what the steps are. And, you know, Bobby and I worked together and put together a really simple college planning timeline, which I'm going to put in the chat so that you guys have it. But what we wanted to focus on today is talking about senior year, and for parents, what in the heck do you need to worry about now so that you can feel confident that you're doing the right things and that you're in control of this process? So
Absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, so that's why we have the college planning checklist, right? So if you follow that, it's a lot easier to be less stressed about this, right? Because it gets you talking about things early in the process and just lets you know what to do each month, right? Each quarter,
yeah, and I'll tell you, so for seniors, the very first thing that we always like to talk about this is make sure they're getting out and looking at those college campuses to know
Absolutely.
it, to feel it. And on that same thought, Bobby, I don't want to forget to say this. You know, a lot of times somebody will have their top college. This is my one pick. This is the one I'm gunning for. And I would tell parents to actually have their kids think about like the top 3 to 5 colleges that they'd be really happy if they got into.
Yeah.
Even if they've got that one in the back of their mind, because here, let's play it out. You know, somebody says, oh, which college did you get into? And the first thing that I hear kids say is, well, I didn't get my top pick, you know, and I don't want them to feel like that. I want them to feel like, wow, you know what? I got into X, and have those top 3 to 5 that they're really excited about so they don't feel disappointed if they didn't get the one. So I'm going to get off my soapbox on that, but I think it's important.
No, I think it is. And that's why college visits are important too, because you might, think that you really would love a place, but until you visit it, you don't know whether you could feel at home there or not. Right.
Yes, because I have seen kids go, gosh, I went there and it just didn't feel as good as the other place. So yes, that feeling of walking onto a campus and going, wow, this feels like my people. I feel like I'm home. It's huge. I always tell this, my oldest son thought I was crazy when I said that, when I'm like, you'll just know. And he's like, yeah, whatever, Mom, you're an idiot. And then he went to the University of Alabama and he goes, okay, you were right.
Yeah. No, you can't predict it, right? And so that's why you got to do that. And that's part of the thing. And so, that's a thing you can do over winter break. If you haven't been yet and you're getting ready to make decisions, right? If you applied early action, you might be starting to see acceptances, but they're really going to start coming in January and February. And so start going to visit, if you haven't already.
Start going. And yes, if you need to take advantage over winter break, do that. But there's a different feel on that campus when all the students are there. So, and as you know, most high schools allow you to take days off to go and do these college visits. Take advantage of that. Yeah, you can. Anytime we go on a vacation, I'm telling you, if we're within 30 miles of a college campus, for us, it's actually more than that. But we will take the detour and go, and it's well worth it, even if you have young kids.
Absolutely.
You know what?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So let's talk about what else they need to do. Pieces to this is helping your high school, especially your senior, know why they're going to college. Okay. I say that and parents are like, what are you talking about? The reason they need to go to college is so they can get a good job and, or make a lot of money. That's what I hear. They need to get a good job and make a lot of money. Guess what? If they don't know why they're going, they've got a bigger chance of not sticking with college. So
absolutely,
it's all about exploring their careers. What do they want to do as far as a career path? They don't have to know exactly, but what area are they most interested in so that they understand why they're there, and it gives them an anchor to stay. Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's the most important thing. And that's part of the thing too, is, just, like if you haven't figured out your major in your career, all those things, right? That's part of why you're going to college, and go get that figured out.
Yeah. But here's the deal. A lot of times, Bobby, that's the last thing that families think about.
Exactly.
And we need to move that up on the list. And, we've got plenty of videos that talk about that. So I'm going to quit harping on it so we can give parents what else they need to know.
Absolutely.
But that's important. All right. Now we're to SAT and ACTs. What do they need to know?
So, I mean, at this point, SAT and ACT in senior year should be all done. I do have 1 or 2 students who are taking it this Saturday as the last test date that some schools will take. There are some schools that will offer specific financial aid. And so there are situations where you might get an acceptance from a school, but you didn't get the big scholarship or you didn't get the in-state tuition you want. And some schools will let you submit a February ACT score and then qualify for that financial aid later in the process. But it's not very many that do that, right? So that would be the only situation where you'd still be thinking about it at this point in senior year, right? You basically would like to have that score in hand before you even start your senior year. If you
got it. And, the other thing is applications.
Right.
Talk about that a little bit.
So applications should be sent by now, right? You can still send them, right? Early application, usually like early admission, usually that's like November 1. But now I think students are just wrapping it up. Maybe the last few of their schools, they're getting in their last few applications right now. I would say definitely aim to have your applications in at the very latest by mid-December, right? Because lots of schools will start issuing decisions pretty soon after applications are due. And like December 1 is a due date for a lot of schools. And so they'll start, in this week, they'll be sending admissions offers to some group of students, and they'll just keep doing it, right? They'll accept about a quarter of their class really early on. They're like, these students are shoe-ins, we're going to admit it, right? And then a month later, they'll admit some more. And as they start, filling in their class and getting, responses to those acceptances, all that. So.
Yes. Now I want to just address the parents, and I get these phone calls. Kristin, we haven't done any of this. Mm-hmm. And their hair's on fire, and I get it. And you know what the reality is? Yeah, you're kind of behind,
sure.
But you can still send in your applications.
Oh, absolutely. You can still apply in February, right? It's just that now they've filled a lot of their slots, right? And so you're applying for a much smaller part of the seats of the class, and that's all, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, that is something to keep in mind. If weirdly, it's one of those things that can happen. If you had that number 1 school that you thought that's where you wanted to go, and you had submitted early action, and for some reason they just straight reject you, right? Then you might suddenly have, some backup schools that you might suddenly be applying to real quick. And you can totally do that. If you've got the credentials, you can absolutely still be accepted.
Yes. I just want parents to know that, there's still things you can do.
Oh, absolutely.
Don't shut it down. You're good. All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So now we talked about fall and what kind of should have been done already, and those things that you can still work on. Winter, what should we be doing? And I think about this, and I think about winter break. This is a great time for seniors to talk to all of those people that came back from college and start talking to them about what was college like. Talk to me a little bit about your major and what you were doing. They can be talking to relatives over Christmas about, what do you do for a career? What does that look like? Start having those conversations. And as a parent, you can start asking people too. It amazes me, Bobby, that all the people that we know, and we still really don't know what they do, like truly know what they do. So show your kid how to have these conversations during this, and ask Uncle Joe, hey, what really does it mean that you're an actuary? What the heck is that? So that you can start understanding that, and your child can hear those conversations because they're important. Okay.
Yep. Absolutely.
All right. Another big thing that we've got on this timeline is contacting colleges to make sure they actually got your application.
Yep. Absolutely. Right. And that's another one of those things, right? We talk about a lot of times, which is demonstrated interest in attending. They track that. And so that phone call where you say, hey, just want to make sure my application is complete. Does everything look good? That adds a little note to your file that you are interested in attending. That increases your chance of being accepted.
And by the way, I have run into families where they're like, we sent it in and they didn't get it.
Right.
And they didn't check up. So after the fact, now they're into February or March.
Absolutely. Very scary.
It's worth it. And by the way, this is a business. So don't feel like, oh, I'm bugging them by
Right.
calling and asking. No, make it happen. Yep.
Absolutely.
Okay. What else? What else do we need to know?
I guess just financial aid, right? So filling out the federal application for free application for federal student aid, the FAFSA, right? Uh, that is part of the financial aid thing, right? Uh, Generally, it's best to have it submitted as soon after October 1 as possible. You can still submit it right now. And a lot of people think that you don't need to fill it out. They think, oh, we make over this amount of money each year, so we don't need to fill it out. All I will say on that point is that every article you ever read, every college consultant in the world has written an article that says every parent, every family should fill out the federal application or the free application for FAFSA. Everyone should fill it out no matter what, because there are some, like if you don't fill it out, the school will just assume that you want to pay absolutely full price for everything and they will not offer anything at all. Right. And so, when I got the scholarship I got, to go to school purely merit based, right? They still wouldn't have offered that to me if I had not filled out the FAFSA form back
Okay.
a long time ago. And that's it. So just FYI, it is a big pain to fill out. It takes a while, so sit down and just do it, right? That's the
and
advice.
Bobby, your parents, just you do it. I mean, that's I don't know your take on this, but I'm like, just do it. Don't make your kids sit through that crap.
Oh, I know it's very interesting because the kid is supposed to fill it out, but it requires so much of the parents' information. You just sit down with them or just do it yourself for them. Yeah, absolutely. No reason not to.
I'm all for getting the kids involved and they have to be a part of this.
Yeah, but that's a whole lot.
That's a bigger deal, and it's whatever.
Yeah. It's a big pain. Exactly. Just get it over with.
Yeah. And then here's one other point that we include in this timeline. And I think this is important too. Make sure you're looking at those early decision responses that you're getting. Like, don't sit there and wait on them. Open those up. And by the way, we all know that kids do not like to look at their email.
Right. So, yeah. That's just really important.
Yeah. So get them thinking about it and going, did you get? And if we haven't said this, and let's say you don't have a senior yet, you've got a younger kid, set up a separate email for these kids to do all this stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah, I do have some students with some pretty funny email address names, that they chose when they were 10. And the email address you want to be submitting to the colleges.
I love that. There's that part, but there's also that you just get a lot.
Right. It's full of spam email. Right.
Yeah. And then, what else? Oh, you know what we didn't say? The calendar. So for parents, this is really kind of important. There's a lot of dates that you have to kind of keep up with the time frame. If your child is not super organized, which I know some of them aren't, to go ahead and have them set up a calendar of all the things that they need to get accomplished, because it's a lot.
Oh, this is a really important thing. Like, if you do have the college that you've chosen and you've already been accepted, start making that calendar of when you need to submit housing reservation money, because if you can really, really find yourself in a bad spot if you forget to pay your housing deposit at the right time, and stuff
or forget to go in and sign up. You might be in
well, that's what I mean. Yeah,
people, and because there's no room for you. Yeah,
that it happens, absolutely. So I think that's it. So it's now just it's all just getting through the checklist. But the point is, if you feel like you're way behind, it can all still be done, right? And just download our college checklist. Go look at the timeline. Just make sure that you're doing all those things, and then you won't have to stress as much. That's it.
Yeah, don't stress.
Exactly.
Be happy. Yeah. All right, Bobby. Thank you so much.
Great.